So I've noticed a lot of you all taking advantage of the beautiful Laguna Niguel weather, working out during the summit. It's not surprising that we have so many athletes among us. Sports have so much value beyond keeping all of us active and entertained. Many a CEO has participated in sports as they built their way to big careers. There are a lot of transferable attributes being a team player, a leader, a goal-oriented person. And in just a moment, we're going to meet two women who have strong insights into all of this and are here to share. Shelly-Ann Fraser-Pryce is an Olympic track and field gold medalist and 10-time world champion. And she happens to be one of the fastest women on earth. Actually, I'll say one of the fastest people on earth. And A'ja Wilson is a WNBA player with the Las Vegas Aces, MVP of the 2022 WNBA champs, and Olympic gold medalist. And they're both Nike athletes too. They're joining us to talk about the impact of sports off the playing field, how sports can help us learn and uncover revelations about ourselves, and maybe we'll get some tips on best ways to up our personal and professional games. But first, take a look at this. Okay, I just want to start by taking a quick poll of the room. Who here played sports in college? Okay, so this does not surprise me. And I want to ask you two experts why you think that is. Why did so many women put their hands up? What role do sports play in leadership? And maybe Shelly-Ann, you can start there.
Well, for me, I think sports was really the vehicle for me to move from the environment that I was in back home to kind of have an education and come out of my circumstances. And it definitely empowered me to kind of create a platform for the girls in my community to understand that sports help to create gives you like a sense of belonging to like a collective group. And if you're able to do that, then you know who you are as an individual. And being able to be in an environment where other girls share similar traits to who I am as a person and I want to become, it kind of helped me to transition from that and become an advocate in my community.
I love that. A'ja, how about you?
Yeah, I mean, it's the same for me. I think sports did something for me. It helped build relationships. I think it opened up a door for me that I never probably would have ever experienced if I didn't play sports. It allowed me to be that friend. It allowed me to share. Like, it was just one of those things where I've met so many people. I'm connected with so many people around the world, and I think that's how sports helped me, and it gave me no choice but to kind of be that leader. It put me out there and was like, all right, it's you and 10 other girls, figure it out. And that's hard in the locker room because some people coming in sassy, and it's like, it made me, some people, it's not their day, the boyfriend didn't text them back, and it's like, all right, but we have to win, ladies. It's like, we got to reel it in. So I think that's kind of what sports helped me in leadership and finding myself and understanding that I have a voice. And like Shelly-Ann was saying, like, building that platform for the next generation, and also you're finding yourself. I think that's the biggest thing. I found myself through sport.
So I want to stay on that for a second because you two are at very different stages of your career. A'ja, you're 26. You've talked before about how you are still developing as both a person and a player. How are you doing that in the spotlight like this?
I have no idea, honestly. It's the way my life goes, I think the biggest thing is understanding that it's never too late to win from within. I think that is so key. Like, you find yourself, those long nights when you're thinking and it's just like, what's going on? Where am I in my life? And it's okay to be at that standpoint. And I think for me, and my biggest thing was the bubble. When the pandemic hit, it allowed me to have no choice but to get in tune with myself. And I think that's the biggest thing. And I honestly would say I didn't find out who I was until I was 24, 25 years old. So I think we get so caught up in having to be that phenomenal woman and figuring it out right on the spot when it doesn't necessarily have to be that way. So I'm still figuring it out. I'm loving it. It's my life, but it's definitely it's been a journey.
I want to come back to that in a couple minutes, but you know, for you, Shelly-Ann, you are 35, I'm sorry. In 2017, sorry, didn't mean to add a year. In 2017, you had your son, Zion, but since giving birth, you have run the 9 fastest times of your career. First of all, how?
Yes.
Yeah, I have a daughter. I'm not running the fastest times of my career. How do you do it? Like, how has this changed you?
You know, having my son has definitely changed me a lot. I remember the first time when I found out I was pregnant, I was like in a slum. I just finished the, it's the truth. I was like, this is not about to be it. I was gonna be 30. I was gonna be turning 30 the December of that year. And I remember being a female in sports, you always hear, oh, it's not the right time to have a child. You have to wait until you retire, or when you get to 30, they almost, you know, want to tell you it's time to wrap it up, you know, it's over. And I remember being there and being in the moment. I was just nervous, like, what's gonna happen? And having my son was the best thing that has ever happened to me, because it made me tough, and I think it made me more, you know, a stronger athlete and a woman. And I was able to balance and juggle being a mom and an athlete, because I knew I had more to give, and I wanted to unleash that power, and I knew the only way I had to do that was that I had to believe that it's possible. So the moment I accepted what was happening, like, yes, I'm gonna be a mom and it's okay, I'm gonna come back. That was it. There was no change in my mind. I understood it was gonna be difficult. I knew it was gonna require more of me. I had to evolve as a woman, as an athlete, and know that I belong in that space, and age was not gonna stop me, you know. The opinions of others were not gonna deter me from the goals that I have, because I knew I had more to give. And being able to accomplish the things that I have after having my son is remarkable. And I hope it adds voice to the other women who are thinking that their dreams are somehow dead because, oh, I'm turning 30, I'm gonna have a baby. But I'm hoping that they too will find inspiration in knowing that new beginnings is always a good thing. It's an opportunity to evolve, it's an opportunity to grow, it's an opportunity to be more than you thought would be possible.
So, I mean, I think it's also worth acknowledging your career has been a decade and a half long, and you are
Very long.
But you are at peak performance at this point. There are some lessons here in longevity. How have you done that?
You know, honestly, it requires work, and I think this year, out of all the years that I've been competing, I finally found the confidence to be who I am. You know, and I think for a lot of us, age is something that we all have to go through. We'll have to age. That's just the reality. And I think for a lot of us, we are afraid of going through that process, that we limit who we are as a woman, you know, and it somehow takes away from us, where we think, okay, because we're turning 30, we need to just tone things down, we're to stop dream, we're to stop thinking that things are possible. But I think at this stage of my career, I feel young, I feel fit, I think I deserve the moment is mine to seize, it's a new beginning, I'm equipped, I'm ready, I'm hungry, and I want it.
Yeah.
So, yeah.
I love that. I love it. You want it.
I want it.
You want it.
Yeah.
I love it. Asia, I want to go back to something you alluded to, which is kind of finding yourself when you were in the bubble, which is the WNBA bubble, for those who don't know. You've both spoken and written very openly about battling depression after an MVP season.
Yeah.
What made you decide to be so open about that?
I think it's just key to show people that I'm human. I think they get so caught up in the accolades, they get so caught up in seeing us in uniform that they're like, oh my God, you're a machine. There's nothing wrong with you. Like, you have the perfect life. You get paid to sweat. You get all these good things. And it's like, but I still hurt. I still feel feelings. I still go through things. And I think it was just so key for me, especially in that moment. And it helped me to be vulnerable and to show that side and say, hey, it's not easy every day for me. I'm glad that I can make it look easy, but it's not easy. Like, no one sees the hard work, the long nights, the stressful nights of where you just want to pull your hair out. No one sees that. And it's like, but those moments are real. And you have to live those moments and take them in. And I think it was a moment for me to be like, okay, this is me, this is who I am, and I'm loving who I'm becoming, because I can show the world that it's different paths of life. We're all on this different journey, but we're gonna all get to the top in our own speed at our own race. So at the end of the day, you just gotta be real and be true with yourself, and that was a key moment for me.
I love that, thank you. Yeah. I wanna see if the audience has any questions for you here. Oh, we have one in the front, if you can wait for the mic. And tell us who you are. It's making its way.
It's moving slow.
Hi, I'm Lorraine Harrington with Catalyst, and I know an issue for women in sports is pay equity, and especially been with WNBA. Can you talk a little bit about the challenges and opportunities in that?
Yes. Oh gosh, we could be here all day. Woo-wee. No, but it's just something that it's always it's a sensitive topic, because it's like you do so much, you work so hard, and it's just like, well, what can we do to make it my thing is make it fair. That's all I'm asking, is fair. If we put in the equal amount of work, we're doing the equal amount of things, cool, but I'm just saying make it fair to us as a league. And it's really, really hard because of economical reasons and things like that. But it's tough, but at the same time, I think for me, I'm understanding that change doesn't happen overnight, and we have to continue to use our platform to voice these things. I think it's so key that we don't have those seats at the tables to say, hey, these women need to get paid more because they work their tails off and they deserve it. I think that's the thing. I think we get so caught up in society of being like, well, the woman is always a step below. But it's like, why? I'm just as equally as qualified as anyone else. And it's a topic where it's just like, well, what can we do? Everyone's asking, well, what can we do? What can we do? Just respect and understanding that we need seats in the body, we need bodies in those seats. We need people to see us. I'm a firm believer in see it. If you can see her, you can be her. And it's really, really hard to be seen if they're constantly sweeping you under the rug. And that's so key. It's just like, just being seen. I think that's the biggest thing, is just putting yourself out there. So many people come up to me and they're like, why can't we find your jersey in airports? Well, why can't you? And it's those little things that we have to go back into these companies and saying, just put us out there. Put us out there and see what happens. And I guarantee you we will not disappoint you. And I think that's just very, very key when it comes to just that pay equity situation. Just like, let us be seen, let us be heard. We're deeper than just athletes. We're foundation owners, we're business women, we're mothers, we're sisters. Like, put us out there. And yeah, that's about all I gotta say on that before I get in trouble.
Do we have another question in the audience? Oh, right over there. And if you could wait for the mic and tell us who you are.
Hey, hi, I'm Rose with Verizon. First of all, you ladies are fabulous.
Thank you.
We are a little jealous that you talked about aging in this room. We're like, okay. But let me ask you this. So how do you think about what your next is? Because you won't be athletes forever, but you have these incredible skills and discipline and intelligence, and we're going to get you out there. How do you think about your next?
So, for me, it's all about impact, and I'm from the Caribbean, I'm from Jamaica, and it's a small country where there are so many girls or people in my community that are underprivileged. And I want to be able to be the change for them. And through my Pocket Rocket Foundation that I started a couple of years ago, because of a woman who...
I should say that's your nickname.
Yes, it is, yes. There's a woman I met when I was 15 years old in New York at the Penn Relays. And for some crazy reason, not knowing who I was or who I was going to become, she invested in my life. And that changed the course of my life forever. So being able to have that foundation in Kingston where we offer student athletes the opportunity to create change and to have a balance of having their sport and their classroom education and being able to pair both together and create an avenue to escape the current circumstances is where it's at. You know, that's the impact I want in my community, to have girls in Jamaica feel like out of all the girls in the world, we belong. We're not just Caribbean women, we're not just Jamaican women, but we too can have an impact in the world. And being able to have that foundation where we have 55 student athletes that have passed through the foundation, giving them the opportunity to not think about where their meal is coming from, where their uniform is coming from, where the books are coming from, but just focus on the classroom, focus on your sport, being able to create for yourself an opportunity to excel. Because for me, I never had that opportunity when I was younger, when I was like 10, 11, 12, until I met Jean. You know, and that changed the course of history, because otherwise I would have continued a cycle that was in my community. I would probably be home, probably have a couple kids, and just running around. But, you know, I'm glad that she saw something more. And being able to have that initiative in my community is where it's at for me, and creating more space for women like me in my community.
Asia, how about you?
Yes. I think the biggest thing for me is just planting seeds for the next generation. Like, I'm still young, but I think the biggest thing is understanding that it doesn't stop here. Like Shelly-Ann was saying, just seeing that potential. We all have those type of people in our lives that saw us before we could see ourselves. And for me, that's what's next, is how can I plant seeds for the next generation to be like, I want to be the next Asia. I want to be the next, like, what can I do in my community to help them understand that you can shatter any glass ceiling that is in front of you. You can reach any goal. I was a young girl that didn't want to play basketball. Hated sweating it. Oh my God, it's disgusting. But here I am sweating for a living. Like, it's one of those things, like, I just want to put that out there to the young girls. Like, you don't have to have it all at once. Like, just continue to plant seeds in what you want in your journey. Like, that's my next. That's my why, to keep grinding and keep just shattering anything that's in front of me.
I love that, shattering everything that's in front of you.
That's
Everything.
Shelly-Ann, Asia, thank you so much for being with us.
Thank you.